Hey crafty people, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a card that just may be my favourite card I've ever made, and I very nearly chucked it in the bin. So I'm going to show you how I saved it and hopefully inspire you to do the same. So I've got the large die of the month from last month from Spellbinders. That's that large U. It is a stitching die, but I opted not to stitch. So I've cut the background from some awesome holographic cardstock, and then I've got a white word on top. So here I'm masking off a little area of this A2 panel, and I'm going rainbow again. So I'm gonna blend a rainbow of, these are all Catherine Pooler inks. They're all from the same collection, Life of the Party. And they're just really beautiful, bright, vibrant colours that I just thought would look awesome for this card. So I'm just working through, as I always do when I'm ink blending. I'm using the domed foam applicators because I love my brushes, I do, but I find that if I want to lay down a really heavy amount of colour and quickly, then yeah, foam applicators are your best friend. They're just not quite so easy to blend, I think. So I would still say brushes if you are a beginner, but don't completely shy away from foam. Just give it a go and see if you like it. So whilst I've waffled on there, I've gone all the way through my rainbow, and then I'm just about to peel up the tape. You want to go really, really slow and peel it back on itself. But even if you do that, sometimes it doesn't work. And as you're about to see, it started to tear some of my paper up. So I stopped pulling straight away, and I went to the other side of that piece, and I started to peel it really slowly, carefully, gently the other way, and I managed to peel it in such a way that it didn't tear that bit of the paper off. It's just a little bit, there's just a little bit of an imperfection in there, but that's better than it would have been. But when I peeled the bottom part off, I realised that I should have masked all the way down, because you just know I went completely off, and I had ink all across the bottom of that bottom piece of masking. So I trimmed a chunk off from the bottom, and a bit off from the top of my panel. And then I'm adding the U up on some foam tape. I know that it does cover a lot of that rainbow, but I just really love the rainbow peeking out around that big sentiment. So I'd foiled a portion from one of the, it's a new Glimmer set. I'll have it linked. So it says, a note from me to you. My plan was I was going to cut the U off. At this point, I had forgotten that I was doing that. And then obviously the large U would become my U. But I just really didn't like it. I really, really didn't like it. And I very nearly got rid of it. But I decided instead to fussy cut it really small up against the wording. And then when I put that on the U, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I was so happy that I had continued through all of my mistakes for this card. So I'm just using my mat there. There's a really handy A2 card size guide in the centre of these mats, and that's really, really helpful when you're looking at cutting something down, or like here I'm going to add a strip to make it A2 again. So I just added some adhesive, double-sided adhesive tape to the back bottom of my panel. Then I've added on some of this really awesome holographic cardstock. I've trimmed it down to make it A2, and then I'm adding some of these beautiful little gems, just 3 of them in a sort of visual triangle around my sentiment. So everything is on that rainbow thing, but it's like, I think the shape that I did the rainbow in, this is completely coincidental, not intended. It reminds me of like refraction, you know, when you shine a light through a crystal, and you get that refraction of light, which coupled with the holographic cardstock is just, oh, I love it. Love it. I'm so glad that I didn't bin this one at the first mistake. Please do consider subscribing if you aren't already. I have all of the supplies that I use for today's card in the description below. They are affiliate links, and if you do shop with them, then that means an awful lot to me. I hope that you have a lovely, happy, safe, and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.